सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्द्रव्यत्व निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। After this, we have something to wipe it with tissue paper or something after, because it was used after we can do it. So, in the second chapter, where the discussion on the Vichara Akshepa means regarding the subject matter of this text, there are certain doubts that the Purva Pakshi is showing. And in that, the first is the Akshepa regarding the Vishaya, which is in the form of Jiva Brahma Aikyam. And there, the Purva Pakshi had already shown that Brahma has got certain characteristics, such as it is free from Panchaklesha, then it is Vyapakam, all pervasive, Ekam, one, and Sajatiya Bheda Rahita. And in that case, the Tippanikara has written some notes on Sajatiya Bheda Rahita. And there, what is the Sajatiya Bheda, what is the Vijatiya Bheda, and what is the Swagata Bheda was described. And there, regarding Swagata Bheda, we saw that this Swagata Bheda can be derived in two different ways. Swasmin Gataha Bhedaha Swagata Bhedaha means the difference is obtaining in oneself. And there, the idea would be the differences amongst the parts which are obtaining in oneself. And the second is Swasmat Gataha Bhedaha, the difference obtaining from oneself means the difference of the parts from oneself, from the entity, the whole. And here we see that when we take the first meaning, then the Bheda is Nishtha in the parts, is having its locus in the parts. Whereas in the second derivation, the Bheda is Brahma Nishtha, because here we are talking about Brahma. And here the Granthkara has taken this second meaning because the divisions are talked of Brahma. So Brahma Nishtha Bheda are described, therefore the second meaning is taken here. But the first one also will indirectly come to Brahma. Yes. Why? Because Veda is in Avayava. Avayava is there in Brahma. Yes. So Veda Yukta Avayava, this Brahma also Bhinna. Vedavan? Yes. Isn't it? Veda Yukta Avayava Vatvat Brahmana api Swagata Veda Vatvam Sat. Yes. Swagata means Swaspin Gata. Swaspin Brahmani Veda. Idrisha Veda Avayava Nishta Veda. Is it clear? So that's in the second derivation, the Veda directly goes to Brahma, whereas as per the first derivation, the Veda indirectly through the means of the parts goes to Brahma. And then the Granthakara was showing how Brahma is free from Sajatiya Bheda, Vijatiya Bheda and Swagata Bheda. And there we had already seen how Brahma is free from Sajatiya and Vijatiya Bheda. And regarding this, so being free from Swagata Bheda, the Tippanikara says that Brahma is partless, is free from parts. Then somebody might say that what about Satchidananda? Then it is said that this Satchidananda and others means Asanga, etc., being in the form of direct defining attributes are the asadharana dharmaha of Brahma. And what is asadharana dharma? The qualities which are only to that particular, which apply to only to that particular entity and nowhere else. And this asadharanatvam is defined as अन्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः इति असाधारणः. Means अन्यूना means the अन्यूना वृत्तिः means that which is not obtaining in any one part of the entity, means which does not leave uncovered any part of the entity, means which covers the entire entity. And anatirikta vrittihi means the, that which does not stay outside the entity. Means when we combine both this idea, it means that the lakshana which is covering the entity and not going outside the entity, that is called asadharana dharma. And in other words, it can be told as avyapti ativyapti rahita rahita vrittihi asadharana.
Vyapti rahita dharma.
Yes.
Anyunatirikta vritti. How will you explain this word?
So here vritti means vartanam vrittihi means staying, not staying in nuna part and not staying in outside part.
How will you say in Sanskrit?
न्यून वृत्तिः च अतिरिक्त वृत्तिः न्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः न न्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः अन्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः.
So न्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः अतिरिक्त च असौ न?
Yes, Swamiji.
च असौ
Yes.
अतिरिक्त वृत्तिः.
Yes, that is.
Will be न्यूनातिरिक्त
वृत्तिः न न्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः अन्यूनातिरिक्त वृत्तिः.
न्यून वृत्तिः means what?
न्यून वृत्तिः means staying in one part.
In Sanskrit?
न्यूने वृत्तिः यस्य लक्षणस्य धर्मस्य तद सह न्यून वृत्तिः. And then अतिरिक्ते वृत्तिः यस्य धर्मस्य सह अतिरिक्त वृत्तिः.
So लक्ष्य देशात् न्यूने वृत्तिः यस्य धर्मस्य स धर्मः न्यून वृत्तिः. And लक्ष्यात् अतिरिक्ते वृत्तिः यस्य धर्मस्य स धर्मः अतिरिक्त. Okay?
So the टिप्पणी करा said that the Satchidananda Dayah are the asadharana dharmaha, and therefore they are not the avayava, means they are not the parts.
And what they are then?
They are the Swarupa itself. And then the example is given that just as the qualities such as form, then taste, smell, touch, etc., which are obtaining in flower, etc., are in the form of the Swarupa, the nature of that flower, etc. Similarly, this dharma in the form of Satchidananda Dayaha are also in the form of the Swarupa of Brahma. Means it is not that Brahma is different and Sat is different, or Brahma is different and Chit is different. What Brahma is, that alone Sat is. And therefore, those asadharana dharma are not different from Brahma. And since this is so, therefore, since the dharma are not different from Brahma, thus they are not the parts of Brahma, and thus Brahma is partless. And since being partless, there is no part from which it can be different. Therefore, it is Swagata Bheda Rahita. And this particular idea is shown by the word Advitiya in the sentence Ekameva Dvitiyam. And then in the main text, after talking about the Lakshana of Brahma, the Granthakara talks about the Lakshana of Jiva to contrast with Brahma, where the Purva Pakshi is showing. So it is said, Jiva tu Nikhila Klesha Bhag, Parichinnaha Anekaha cha. Whereas, means to differentiate from Brahma, whereas the Jiva is endowed with all the Klesha, Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha and Abhinivesha. And it is Parichinnaha. And the Tippanikara says Parichinnaha means Bhinnaha, is different. And Anekaha, Jiva are many. And this Parichinnaha and Anekaha is to contradict with Vyapakam Ekam Sajatiya Bheda Rahitam Brahma.
Parichinnaha is limited. So Bhinnaha is interpreting it literally. Bhinnaha means in the sense of it is different means it is limited in that sense. Otherwise, Parichinna and Bhinna. So something is Parichinna means it is particularized from something else. And therefore, this can be called.
And now in the next part, it is shown why Jivaha are Anekaha. It is said, Yavanti Sharirani Tavantaha Jivaha. As many bodies are there, that many Jivas are there. Why this is so? For that the reason is given. Sarva Sharireshu Jivasya Ekatvabyupagame tu Eka Sharire Jayamana Sukha Dukkadayah Sarva Sharireshu Jayeran. Whereas when there is acceptance of oneness of jiva in all the bodies, means there is one jiva obtaining in all the bodies, then when this sukha, dukkha, etc., which are born or are born in any one body, then in every body they all should be born. Means when any one body experiences sukha, dukkha, or anything else, then everybody should experience, because the experiencer is jiva. And if the jiva is common, then the experience should be common in all the bodies. Natu tatha asti. Whereas that is not so. Our experience says otherwise. And therefore, jivaha are anekaha. And thereby the Purva Pakshi says that the Lakshana of Brahma and the Lakshana of Jiva is different, and therefore the Vishaya, which is Jiva Brahma Aikyam, does not stand. And then we saw the second Tippani, where some further Akshepa and Samadhanam regarding this Vishaya Jiva Brahma Aikyam are shown. Where the first Akshepa is raised. It is said, that if in all the body, if in all the bodies there would be one self alone, one Atma alone, then there will be oneness between the Jiva and Paramatma. When there would be one Atma in all the bodies, then there will be oneness of Jiva and Paramatma. And this we can see in one more manner, that if in Jiva is one and Paramatma is already one, then there will be no Lakshana Bheda, and thereby there will be oneness between Jiva and Paramatma. Yeah.
Another way is, if there is only one Atma,
yes,
is appearing as Jiva and Paramatma, then Jiva Brahman.
But that is not so. Why? Because Atma are many. And to this Akshepa, the answer is given. And the answer talks about that the reason which is given by the Purva Pakshi does not have valid means of knowledge. So it is said that with regard to the manyness of the Atma, there is there is no valid means of knowledge. And if somebody says that there is Pratyaksha Pramanam, we see differences to that particular expected doubt. The Tippanikara says that this Pratyaksha Pramanam, which is based on this organs, Indriya, which is regarding the difference of the Atma, and which is very well known amongst the ignorant people, that is not dependent upon the difference in the Atma, but that is dependent, or that is caused by the difference in the bodies, and is that is in the form of Upadhi, not the Atma.
So we are seeing the second Tippani. Jiva Brahma Aikya Vishaye Akshepa Samadhanani. Various objections and the answers with regarding the oneness of Jiva and Brahma. Jiva and Ishvara also we can say. And objection was सर्व शरीरेषु यदि एकः एव आत्मा स्यात् तदा जीव परमात्मा ऐक्यमपि स्यात् न तु तथा अस्ति अनेकत्वाद् आत्मनः. If there is only one Atma in all the jivas, as all the bodies, then there will be oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma, because Lakshana Samyat, Lakshya Samyam, or Lakshana Ekatvat, Lakshya Aikyam, न तु तथा अस्ति. तथा means what? सर्व शरीरेषु एकः एव आत्मा अस्ति इति न. So न तथा अस्ति means सर्व शरीरेषु एकः एव आत्मा नास्ति. Is it clear? So तथा has got that idea. सर्व शरीरेषु एकः एव आत्मा. That is the meaning of तथा. न तु तथा अस्ति. Like that it is not. In that manner it is not. And in that manner means only one Atma being there in all the bodies. That type of situation is not there. Is it clear?
Yes.
न तु तथा अस्ति. Why? Anekatvad Atma. Because Atmas are many. And why do you say Atmas are many? Because we see Pratyaksha Praman, we feel I am different, you are different, he is different. And afterwards, Pramanas also will be talked about. But now he does the Anekatvad Atmana because it is very evident by Pratyaksha, according to him. But that Siddhanta says, Atmanaha Anekatve na kinchidapi pramanam asti. With regard to manyness of the cell, there is no any valid means of knowledge. And for that, somebody can say that no, we have a pratyaksha pramana. See, I am different, you are different, he is different. We are seeing it. You are different, I am different. So for that is Siddhanta says, Agna Jana Prasiddha Atma Bheda Vishayaka Indriyaka Pratyaksham tu na Atma Bheda Yattam. The Indriyaka Pratyaksha, the perception based on the organs, which includes the mind also. So perception based on the Indriyas regarding Vishaya, regarding Atma Bheda, regarding the difference of the self, and which is Agna Jana Prasiddha, well known. So Agna Jana Prasiddha can go with both Pratyaksha, Indriya ka Pratyaksha, na this Atma Bheda. Means that Atma Bheda which is accepted by ignorant people based on the Indriya Pratyaksha, that Pratyaksha is to na Atma Bheda Yattam, is not centered on, based on the real difference of the self. The perception of difference of the self, well known among the ignorant people, is not really centered on, based on the difference of Atma. Then what does it reveal? The Bheda Pratyaksha is that some Bheda somewhere it should be. So he says, Kintu, but Upadi Bhuta Sharira Bheda Nibandanam. So Nibandanam ke Pratyaksha. Bheda Pratyaksham or Atma Bheda Pratyaksham, the perception of the difference of Atma is Nibandanam, caused by, based on Sharira Bheda, based on the difference of the body. And what type of body? Upadi Bhutam, which is in the form of Upadi. Upadi of Atma. So the difference, the perception of difference of the self is based on, caused by the difference in the body, which is the Upadi of Atma. And Upadi is that whose dharmas are superimposed upon the Upahita. That is what is Upadi. Upa samipe sthitva swaganan adatte iti Upadi. Adatte eva, of course. We give the example of the red flower and the crystal. So just as the color of the flower is transferred or superimposed on the crystal, similarly the manyness of the Sharira, which is Upadi, is transferred on Upahita. That was said here. Kintu Upadi Bhuta Sharira Bheda. And this is not something unusual that it doesn't happen. He is going to give the example. Even though Akasha is one, but pots are many, pots which are Upadi of Akasha, they are many, therefore Akasha is considered to be many. Similarly, Atma is one, but Upadi of Atma, bodies are many, therefore Atma appears to be many. That's what is said here, Nibandhanam. So this Bheda, Atma Bheda Pratyaksha is really not objectifying Atma, it is objectifying only Upadi. And Upadi manyness is transferred to Atma. And now Siddhanta is saying that this Pratyaksha cannot objectify Atma. If it objectifies Atma, then Atma Bheda can be arrived at. If Dharmi itself is not objectified, then Dharma cannot be objectified. That is said here that Atma is not available to be objectified by Pratyaksha or any other Shastra Bhinna Pramana. Then how can you establish the Veda by any Pramana? That is said here. Na Veda Vin Manute Tam Bruhantam. The one who is not the knower of Vedas does not know Bruhantam, Brahma Tattvam, Atma Tattvam. Atma is not available for any other means of knowledge. And therefore, Atma Bheda cannot be known by any means of knowledge. If something is available for means of knowledge, then you can talk about the manyness or oneness of that. You can talk about the attributes of that entity if it is available for means of knowledge. When entity itself is not available for other means of knowledge, how other means of knowledge can establish the difference? Is it clear? That is one of the arguments of Vedanta. बोले कि आप आत्मा भेद की बात कर, लेकिन आत्मा ही आपने नहीं देखा है, तो how can you say आत्मा is भिन्न? That's what the Vedanta's argument is. It is something like, if you have not seen or known the ghost, you cannot talk about the quality of the ghost. By pratyaksha anumana sampramanam, you have cognized the ghost, then you can say ghost is very big, small, frightening, non-frightening. When a dharmi itself is not grasped, how can you make conclusion about the dharma of that dharmi? That is what Vedanta is saying. And second vakya, tam tvopanishadam purusham pruchhami. So Yagnavalkya is telling, but I am asking you about that purusha which can be known only through Upanishad. Upanishadam means Upanishadeka gamyam. Gamyaha Dvitiya gamyam. I am talking about that Atma which is known only through Upanishad. Ityadi Shrutibhyaha. From this Shruti, Vedetara Pramananavagamyatvata. Because Atma is not known through any Pramana other than Vedas. Therefore, what might happen? That since other Pramanas cannot objectify Atma, and still there is a conclusion about Atma Dharma based on other Pramana, then those Pramana must have objectified something else, and those qualities are superimposed upon Atma. It is something like somebody is already dead. Now he cannot be seen, and somebody did not know it, and he say, oh, that person came and he was looking very sad. All this you talk about it. See, that Pramana is not there to see that person. And therefore, whatever you say about that person, that I saw him was looking very sad, then I consoled him, became happy, all this story you give me. So it should be what? You must have seen somebody else, you concluded that person to be this given person, and you attributed all the qualities. So other pramanas, pratyakshadi pramana, cannot objectify self. And therefore, your conclusion that Atma or Bhinna based on Pratyaksha, so that must be objectifying something else, and those attributes are superimposed upon Atma. Because Atma is not available for other Pramana. So, whatever Pramana is available for Atma does not talk about manyness of Atma. And whatever is talking about the manyness of Atma, whatever Pramana is talking about manyness of Atma is not really Pramana for Atma. Is it clear? So whichever Pramana talks about Bheda of Atma is not really Pramana for Atma. And what is supposed to be the Pramana of Atma does not talk about Bheda of Atma. And therefore Bheda cannot be established. Alright. So first part we saw that other Pramana cannot objectify Atma, therefore manyness of Atma concluded based on Pratyaksha is really centered on the Upadhi. And Shruti Pramanam talks about oneness. That is said here, Eko Devas Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha Ityadi Shrutibihi Sarva Sharireshu Brahmadi Stambanteshu Upalabhyamanaha Atma Ekaha Eva. So Shruti, which are supposed to be the Pramana, what are the Shruti and what do they say? Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha. Shruti says Devaha is Ekaha. Devaha refers to Chaitanya. Self-effulgent, self-evident consciousness is one, hidden in the all the bhutas. By this Shruti, Sarva Sharireshu, in all the bodies, Brahmadi Stambanteshu, starting with Brahmaji up to the uh, clump of grass, in all the bodies, Upalabhyamanaha Atma, Atma which is evident, is Ekaha Eva. Atma which is evident in all the bodies, starting with Brahmaji up to the clump of grass, is one alone. Based on what? Shruti. Then he explains the perception of difference of Atma. How it is possible? Reconciliation. Accounting for the perception of difference of Atma. He says, Aneka Gateshu Upalabhyamanaha api Akashaha Yatha Ekaheva. Just as Akasha, which is obtaining in many pots, is Ekaha Eva, is one alone. Tatha, similarly, Sharira Bhedeshu Atma, Bhedeshu api Atma. Even in different bodies, the Atma which is there is one alone. Similarly, the self obtaining in, even though obtaining in many bodies, is one alone. And then he gives another Shruti. Agniryatheko Bhuvanam Pravishtaha. Fire which has entered into this world, especially the world of inflammable materials. Rupam Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva. This fire is Pratirupa. Pratirupa means endowed with the corresponding form, various forms, various corresponding form. Rupam Rupam, in keeping with various forms of the fuels. Fire is endowed with, experienced fire is endowed with various corresponding form in keeping with the form of the fuel. So Rupam Rupam is Dahya Rupam. Kasthadi Dahya Rupam Rupam Pratirupaha Babhuva. Pratirupaha means Bahurupaha Babhuva. Similarly, Tatha, similarly, Ekaha Sarva Bhutantaratma. Similarly, one inner self, Rupam Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva. One self which is obtaining in many bodies is endowed with many forms in keeping with the form of the body. So here Rupam Rupam is Sharira Rupam Rupam. In keeping with the form of the body, Atma becomes as though endowed with many forms. So Pratirupam is Bahurupa. Tadanukula Bahurupa. Is it clear? Like the fire doesn't have any particular shape. But if this wood is circular, then fire will appear circular. If wood is square, table you are burning, then fire will look square. So in keeping with the form of the fuel, fire appears to have different forms. Similarly, in keeping with the form of the body, Atma appears to have many forms. Ityadi Shruti Vyaha. From this Shruti, what we understand? That Atma is one Ekaha. Our more focus on Ekaha. Tasmat Jiva Brahma Ekyam Yujyate. Since Atma is only one, therefore Jiva Brahma Ekya is possible, tenable. Atma is one, Brahman is one. So both of them are Salakshana, not Vilakshana. In fact, we say one Atma alone is appearing as Jiva and Ishvara. Therefore, Jiva Brahma Aikya is possible. Now Purupakshi is saying, Atmanaha Anekatve na Pramana Bhava. Akshepa. Don't say that there is absence of means of knowledge with regard to manyness of the self. Why? Pratyakshadi Aneka Pramana Sattva. You are saying Kinchit Pramanam Nasti. You are saying many Pramanas. So Pramana Bhava you cannot say because there is existence or presence of many Pramanas beginning with Pratyaksha. So there are many Pramanas regarding the manyness of Atma. What are the Pramana? Pratyaksha. Then he explains, Tatha hi, explanation follows. First one is Pratyaksha Pramana. What is that? Brahmanoham, Kshatriyoham, iti ahankara purvakam, pratiprani shariram, atma vedaha pratyakshaha eva. Ahankara vedasya atma veda niyamakatva. So what he says, our experience, Pratyaksha Anubhava is what? Brahmanoham, I am Brahmana. Other person says Kshatriyoham. In this manner, ahankara purvakam, with the I sense. Ahankara means I sense, I notion. Prati prani shariram, in every body of living being. Prati means every. In every body of living being, Atma Bhedaha, the difference of Atma is Pratyaksha eva. Is evident to, what is called? Pratyaksha, directly available. Because one person says, I am Brahmana, I am not Kshatriya. He will say that also. Don't think I am Kshatriya, I am Brahmana only. Kshatriya will say, I am Kshatriya only, I am not Brahmana. So, Brahmanaham, Kshatriyaham, in this manner, Ahankara Purvaka, Pratisha, Prani Shariram, Atma Veda. And what is the significance of Ahankara Purvakam? He says, Ahankara Vedasya Atma Veda Niyamakatva. Atma is represented by Ahankara. So if Ahankara is many, then Atma should be many. Therefore he says Ahankara Vedasya. The difference of Ahankara is the Niyamaka, is the decider. Decider for what? Atma Veda, the difference of Atma, difference of the self. Difference of Ahankara, Aham Buddhi, I sense, is the decider of Atma Veda. What it means? That Atma is represented by Ahankara, Aham Buddhi. And how many Ahankaras are there? Many Ahankaras. And therefore, there should be many Atma. Because Atma is represented by Aham Aham. Since Aham Aham, this type of vrittis are manifold. Therefore, there are many Atmas. So Ahankaras are many, and Ahankara Veda is a decider for Atma Veda. Therefore, Atmas are many. Is it clear? Then, further he says, Sarvadehishu Atmana Ekatve Tvam Aham Ayam Ityadi Veda Vyavaharana Syat. He said, if there is only one, if there is oneness of the self in all the bodies, then you, Aham, I am this, Ityadi, etc. Veda Vyavaharana Syat. This type of the transaction of the difference will not be there. See, when I talk about myself, I always use I. I do not say you go. You are going. When I am going, I don't say you are going. He is going, she is going, we don't say. And when you are going, I don't say I am going. You only are going. When he is going, I don't say I am going. That's what he says. He says, Sarvadeheshu Atmana Ekatve. If there is only one Atma, then you, I, this type of Vyavahara will not be there. Because only one. So he is going, I said, I am going. You are going, then I am going. People will not understand. Then I will say you are going, but you are not going. That's how we have to say. Because for both you are using the word you. Or I am using the word aham for everybody. Then what will I say? Aham is going, but aham is not going. That's how we have to say. What will how will we communicate? Then we have to say that aham is going, but this aham is not going. Something we have to say. Veda is there only. So Veda Vyavahara Nasya. Tasma. Tasma means Veda Vyavahara Nasya. Kintu Veda Vyavahara Asti. Tasma. Therefore, आत्मनः एकत्वे भेदव्यवहारः सम्भवात् भेदव्यवहारस्य च दृश्यत्वात् आत्मनानात्वं प्रत्यक्षसिद्धम्. The manyness of the self is pratyakshasiddham, is established by pratyaksha. That's what Purvapakshi thinks. We are going to think that what you are seeing is not Atma. Next is Arthapati. In fact, same Anubhava he is putting in the format of Arthapati. And same thing will put it in the format of Anubhava. एक ही चीज में से वही वो साउथ इंडियन राइस जैसा सेम राइस का अलग अलग बता अर्थापत्ति प्रमाण. What is it? आत्मनः नानात्वा भावे. In the absence of manyness of the self, त्वम अहम अयम इत्यादि भेद व्यवहार न स्यात्. Then this type of transaction, you, I, this type of Veda Vyavahara, transaction of difference will be transaction characterized by the difference will not be there. Tvam aham ayam is a Veda Vyavahara. Atmananatva bhave na syat. Tasma. Therefore, Veda Vyavahara siddhyanupapatya. Sorry, Veda Vyavahara siddhyanyatanupapatya. आत्मभेदः अहंकार अंगीकार्यः. So he says भेद व्यवहार सिद्धि अन्यथानुपपत्या. Because of the otherwise untenability, भेद व्यवहार सिद्धेः अन्यथानुपपत्या. Because of otherwise untenability of the transaction regarding a transaction characterized by the difference, आत्मभेदः अंगीकार्यः. The difference of the self should be accepted. Iti, in this manner, arthapattihi api, arthapatti also, tatra manam. Tatra means what? Atma bhede manam. Arthapatti also is the pramanam with regard to atma bheda, the difference of atma. So how will put in arthapatti in this language? Is bheda vyavahara siddhi anyatha anupapatya. So we say, bheda vyavaharaha atma bheda bhave anupapatya. अन्यथा मीन्स व्हाट? आत्मनः नानात्वा भावे. भेद व्यवहारः आत्मनः नानात्वा भावे अनुपपत्या आत्मभेदं स्थापयति, दर्शयति. Is it clear? This format. भेद व्यवहार means what? त्वम अहम अयम भेद व्यवहार. This भेद व्यवहारः अन्यथा अनुपपत्या. अन्यथा means what? भेदा अभावे, आत्मनः भेदा भावे और नानात्वा भावे अनुपपत्या आत्मभेदः अंगीकार्यः. आत्मभेदं स्थापयति, कल्पयति. In simple words, if there was no difference in Atma, the transaction that I, you, he, she, it will not be possible. But this is seen, I, you, he, she, it, Vyavahara is there. Therefore, Atma, Nanatvam is not possible. Atma Ekatvam, Atma Ananatvam is not possible. Nanatvam is there. So there is Anyatha. And same idea is Anuman. Vimataha Atma Pratishariram Bhinnaha. Vimata means the disputed Atma. Prakrita. Vipratipannaha. Vimata means Vipratipannaha. So Vimata means the Atma regarding there are disputed views. That is called Vimata. So disputed Atma. Disputed in the sense whether it is Ekaha or Anekaha. In that sense, disputed Atma. Prati Shariram Bhinnaha is different in everybody. The disputed self is different in everybody. This is the pratigna. Hetu is what? Prati Shariram Tvam Aham Ayam iti Vyavhara Veda. Because there is the difference in the transaction with reference to everybody. When it is this body, we say Aham. When it is your body, then I say Tvam. When it is somebody's body, I say Ayam. Iti Vyavhara Veda. So, because of the difference in the transactions such as you, I, this, etc., therefore what? Atma Prati Shariram Bindam. The format is not properly put. It's okay because in the Pakshayalogy it should come, no? Really speaking, what should be said? Prati Shariram Tvam Aham Ayamiti Vyavhar Bhedavatva. Isn't it? See, if we go strictly by the format, it should be Bhedavatva. But Vedavatva and Vedat both are same. Like Parvato Vandiman. Dhumavatvat also we can say, Dhumat also we can say. Therefore Veda. Okay. And then another reason he gives. Tattat Sharira Rupa Vyakti Vedacha. And because of the difference of what? Vyakti, individual, in the form of respective body. So because of the difference in the individual in the form of different bodies. Means every individual is in the form of respective body. And there is a difference in individuals because there is a difference in the body. So every body is individual and individual is manifold. And that individual is Atma. Therefore Atma is many. So Tattat Sharira Rupa Vyakti Vedacha. Because of the difference of the individual or individuality in the form of individual is better. Because of the difference of the individual in the form of respective body. And therefore Atma is different. Ghata Sharavadivat. Like Ghata Sharir, Ghata pot. Sharava means lid. That lid we put on the pot. That is called Sharava. So we say I am Ghata. Then we say I am Sharava. So this Veda Vyavahara is there. Therefore the entity should be Bhinna. And Tattat Sharira. Rupa Vyakti Vedat. This is a this entity pot. This individual entity pot. That individual entity lid. So Tattat Sharira Rupa Vyakti Vedat. Almost similar idea. He is putting in different ways. Just Vyakti brings extra. So because that was one Vyavahara Veda. Here is focusing on the entity. Because of the difference of the individual in the form of respective body. Katasharavadivat iti anumanam pramanam api. We have to supply what? Atma bhede manam. Next. Shruti Puranadi Praman. This is Shruti Puranadi also. Shruti Puranadishu Deva, Danava, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Manavadi Bheda, Vada Darshanat, Atmana, Atmananatvam Eva Siddhyati. He said in Shruti, there is a description of so many types of living beings. In Taittiriya, we have got, I think, 13 Manushya, Manushya Gandharva, Deva Gandharva, Karma Deva, so many are there. Ajanaja Deva, Indra, then There's Prajapati. So many categories are so. And even Brihadaranya Kanal, Deva and Asuras both are talked about. So here he says Shruti Purana Dishu, Shruti and Purana, Shruti Purana Smriti, Adipatya Smriti. In that, Deva, gods, Danava, demon, Yaksha, one type of semi-gods. Rakshasa is another semi-god. Gandharvas, musicians, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, they are the singers. Kinnara and Kim, really Kinnara means seeing them we will have asked, Kinnara, is it a person? Kimpurusha also similar. Kimpurusha. Okay. The difference between Kinnara Kinnara is having the face of the horse and lower body is of human being. That is Kinnara. Kimpurusha opposite. The the lower part is horse. Lower part is the horse. Upper part is human being, like Kimpurusha. So horse, human being, mixed body is Kinnara Kimpurusha. Manava, human being. Manavadi, Bhedavada. There is a narration of variety or narration of the differences of all these types of living being, Darshana. Since it is seen, therefore, Atmananatvam eva siddhyati. Therefore, the manyness of Atma alone is established. See that class.
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्